you know, I have to get filler refills, and this is what happens. Sorry.
That's so terrible.
Okay, so where's my straw? Here we go. Hello, it's Miss Heather, piano and voice teacher here at Conservatory of the Ozarks, and I'm joined today by
Dwight,
little Dwight. And
with the straw.
we have straws. So when you sing, you have your little tiny larynx, and your larynx is located like right above your trachea, and your trachea, you know, is like a tube, this tube that goes down to your lungs, right? And so, like, this is one way you can see. This is the trachea here. So if you kept going down here is your lungs, right? Inside of your rib cage. So your lungs are pushing air up through here. And here, this little white part, those are your vocal folds, which is located inside of your larynx right here. So it's like, this is your Adam's apple facing forward. And this is what it looks like if you cut your head in half. And so you can use your larynx for several different functions, because actually several animals exist in the world who have a larynx and they cannot phonate like we can. That's just like a happy side effect. The primary function of the larynx is to help you squeeze and swallow your food or liquid, right? And so that's why, and then your epiglottis here can cover so that when you're swallowing, the food doesn't go down, it goes into your esophagus instead of your trachea. And so this, when you phonate, you have to bring your vocal folds together, or you have to adduct your vocal folds, which I want to find a picture of so you can see. And so this is what your vocal folds look like when they are abducted, which means away from each other. I just remember, like, when you abduct someone, you take them away from their home. So this is what your larynx looks like. This is the epiglottis. So if you were looking down like this, right here, this is what you would see. So this abducted form of the vocal folds is what you will use if you are swallowing because you're drinking or eating, or exhaling or inhaling. This is what you look like, which is most of the things you do with your larynx. But if you want to phonate, which means produce sound, you will adduct, or bring the vocal folds together. And so you are obstructing the airflow from the trachea, from the lungs. And if you obstruct the airflow by closing the vocal folds like that, like, do you have any idea, like, what happens to the airflow? Like, the amount of pressure the air would be exerting? It would increase.
Sure.
Right, yeah, because you are obstructing the exit route, right?
Yeah.
And so when the vocal folds come together to create phonation, you just have this tiny little pinprick where the air is exiting. And that creates like the embouchure when you are playing a wind instrument, it's just like a tiny circle of vibrations here. And so if you cut your head off and you could still phonate, what you would hear is a buzzing sound, kind of like that. You would have no resonating chambers to create a certain tone quality anymore. So you could see how when this trachea is so small and your ribs are like this big to hold your lungs, you know, like this is a lot of air to come through this tiny little hole. So that can build up a lot of air pressure. Your vocal tract begins here at your larynx and ends here at your lips. So if the air pressure here builds up under your larynx, and the higher and louder you sing, the greater the air pressure. That, of course, is going to put more demand on your vocal folds. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So then the air pressure above the larynx, from here to the exit route, would you say the air pressure here is more or less than the air pressure under the larynx?
Less.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we can equalize the air pressure above and below the larynx by partially obstructing the exit route, which is the mouth. And so if we do that, those exercises are called semi semi-occluded vocal tract exercises, or SOVT. And the benefit of equalizing the air pressure below and above the larynx is that you feel less pressure in your vocal folds. So if you're in a place of compromised vocal health because of allergies, for example,
Sure.
or if you're trying to master a very difficult song, using semi-occluded vocal tract exercises can help with both of those things, and also can help you reach higher pitches with greater ease. Do you have any guess as to why you might be able to sing higher pitches with greater ease if you build up the air pressure on the inside of your mouth, between your lips and the top of your larynx? It's okay if you don't, but I think you might have a guess.
I mean,
Like when
it's
when
not,
air is on the
it's just not
inside of
as
a balloon,
Yeah.
the air is pushing
outward.
outward, which is what you're doing with your mouth, basically.
Yeah.
And so that outward pressure on the inside of your mouth, on the tissues on the inside of your mouth, it will help your soft palate lift. It will help open the back of your throat.
Okay. No, I
Yeah.
didn't have that guess.
Okay. You're so smart. I thought maybe you would.
No, not that
So
one.
we can take these straws. No, I'm not a doctor. I'm a voice teacher.
I'm a
But
milkman. No.
It is weird because if you voice, it's the only instrument where you have to know about anatomy. Like you have to take anatomy classes
Sure.
if you're working on a doctorate in voice, usually vocal pedagogy at least.
Sure.
So it's kind of a weird thing. You have to learn about the innards of your mechanism instead of like the innards of your piano or whatever. So we can put this straw in, and so this is also called straw phonation. Straw phonation, which just means phonating into a straw, is a category of semi-occluded vocal tract exercises. So you could phonate into the straw like this, and you can see my lips are kind of a straight line, but I don't want you to do it that way. I want you to bring your corners toward each other like this. When you bring your lips together, your corners of your lips, your teeth must separate. It's impossible not to. And so you can make sure your jaw is released and not tight. But here's the trick. We still must fully release the jaw to inhale. So don't let yourself get into the habit of sucking the air in through the partially occluded opening. We still want to throw and then fully release. And you can use this straw phonation, which is the most basic type of straw phonation in many ways. Oh, you might want to grab a tissue because you'll probably have spit dripping out the other end. Sorry, this is really gross. Sorry. But so
I'll blow it at them.
Yeah.
And then it'll be all over your phone.
It's okay. I've got sanitizing wipes
You'll need them.
for just this kind of situation. So we can just try a couple sirens into the straw. So we can open to inhale. And so we want to stop before the vocal fry.
I go too far.
It's okay. So what we want, because the point of this is to feel, or a big part of the point is to feel the outward expansion the increased air pressure is creating, most importantly in the back of your mouth where your soft palate is. You can even do this like block the end and feel. Do you feel how the soft palate is pushed up?
Yeah.
You don't have to lift it up. The air will push the soft palate up, and your uvula will start to retract if you feel the air pressure like this. So do that like a few times when you're straw phonating so you can feel that sensation, because we are looking for the sensation as you're phonating. And so the Coke bottle sound I was talking to you about before is, if you blow over the top of a Coke bottle and there's liquid inside. Yes, that's exactly the sound. So if you're trying to recreate the sound of it blowing over a Coke bottle, you'd be like, woo, woo, woo. narrow in the front, big and open in the back. And so that's another, like that hooty sort of quality is actually a desirable quality when you're singing. So that's sound you can like kind of label in your mind as being open, because we can keep the openness in the back regardless of what we're doing in the front. And this expanded feeling should be intact when you're hooting. And so we can, again, release to allow the air in, try a siren, and look for the space in the back. Ooh, I'm rough today too. I was like planting flowers earlier.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
I inhaled some particulates.
No doubt.
Because I was rushing. But the siren can serve as a barometer for your vocal health. If you have interruptions in the phonation or roughness in the transition like I'm experiencing right now, usually that's indicative of inflammation between your vocal folds. And so the vocal folds can't make symmetrical contact anymore because they're like bumps. Right? And usually inflammation doesn't happen symmetrically.
Sure.
Yeah. And the vibrations can't happen as freely. And you might also have inflammation in your resonating chambers, your sinuses, which also doesn't sound as nice. It makes the higher notes harder. So this is one type of semi-occluded vocal tract exercise. But even just using, and after you do this a few times with your straw, you can just make a ooh vowel shape with your lips. That's another type of semi-occluded vocal tract exercise, but it's not straw phonation. So different category. So we could try just a regular siren, release to inhale. And the point is, try to see if you can still feel that build up in the back. The sensation will be less intense than if you use a straw.
Sure.
Because this is a very occluded exit route. And you can use bigger, like thicker or thinner circumference straws, and you'll feel a different effect all the time. And then you can also put straws in water, but we're just keeping it simple this time. So in your song that you're working on right now, or these exercises where you go pretty high, especially right now when your allergies are giving you a hard time, you can do these exercises with a straw.
Okay.
You can practice like the parts of your song that are hard and difficult with a straw. And just remember always, the point is to feel the buildup of air pressure so you feel the expansion in the back. Because that's like what we're trying to nail down for you right now, right? The sensation and the sound that go along with that sensation.
You got me on all day long these days.
I'm so glad. I'm so happy to hear that. So any questions about?
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Not really. It's actually so hard. But you know.
And I have